Shift our focus now to an international story that has the entire world talking. There's a big admission that has been made by a former U.S. intelligence official as he testifies to the Congress, claiming that the U.S. is concealing multi-decade program that captures unidentified flying objects, though the Pentagon has rejected the claims that were made by him. Listen in.
Intelligent extraterrestrials.
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Okay, I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So, and you may or may not be able to answer my last question, and maybe we get into a skiff at the next hearing that we have, but who in the government, either what agency, sub-agency, what contractors, who should be called into the next hearing about UAPs, either in a public setting or even in a private setting? And you probably can't name names, but what agencies or organizations, contractors, et cetera, do we need to call in to get these questions answered, whether it's about funding, what programs are happening, and what's out there?
I can give you a specific cooperative and hostile witness list of specific individuals that were in those.
And how soon can we get that list?
I'm happy to provide that to you after the hearing.
Super. Thank you. And I yield back.
Senior Consulting Editor Srinjoy Chaudhary on the broadcast with us. Srinjoy, this is a big development mainly because of the interest that UFOs and aliens have gathered over the last several decades across the world. But this is a big admission that is being made by a top intel official claiming that an intact spacecraft of the aliens is with the U.S. administration, and he claims that not much has been revealed about it.
Yes, and he's saying that these close encounters of the third kind have been going on from the 1930s, that the US government has been aware of it. Now, there are only two possibilities. Either this man is completely talking through his hat, or there have been these encounters, these close encounters, and there have been many extraterrestrials who have been in contact with human civilization. Maybe they are of higher intelligence, they are more developed, considering they've come from as far away as they have, and therefore are here. Now, nobody knows, as far as this person is concerned. He's a very senior Air Force officer of the US Air Force, and he is saying that the United States government has been in touch with people from a different world for the last 190 years. That's a huge admission. Now, it is a huge admission, no doubt, but is it correct? Now, as far as we know, the Pentagon has completely denied it. Now we will have to see what happens. Will he provide additional information to buttress, to strengthen his position? Or will it all just die down as all these things have in the past?
Yes.
So now we are at a point of waiting. What happens now? Does he provide more information? Does he provide more evidence? Does he provide pictures, videos, things like that? Or does it just go down the drain?
Because he's made some big claims, but he needs to substantiate what he has been saying as well. Srinjoy, thank you for joining us with those details. We're also joined by astrophysicist Madhu Kashyap on the broadcast with us. Thank you so much for joining us. First up, I want to ask you, what's your take on what the US top intel official has claimed?
Actually, to be honest, it is interesting and shocking at the same time. Interesting because this answers a big question that we are not alone in the universe. And shocking because the information is not so free to everybody in the current generation, which makes me sad at this point of time.
All right, but there have been so many questions around it, around aliens and UFOs. Do you think this claim really answers all of those theories about aliens?
As Carl Sagan famously once said, extraordinary claims requires extraordinary evidences. So if you have extraordinary evidences, then the conspiracies or not conspiracies doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the truth.
Okay, but similar claims have also been made about Area 51 as well. What is it? Where is it? There are so many questions that are asked. So does Area 51 really exist?
There are a lot of movies which has come out of this kind of conspiracies, and they have been very much taken on a lighter side as a science fiction rather than actual science, because these things are sometimes our minds thinks them as fantasies, but there are some aspects of our lives which tries to answer these questions. Even in physics, we have tend to play with space time along with traveling into other places, because even the recent we came to know there are planets outside the solar system. The first detection of an exoplanet, which was a planet outside the solar system, was detected in recent times. It's not a very old science. Exoplanets are planets outside the solar system. If there are life in any of those planets, since the nearest neighboring exoplanet, which is similar to Earth, like is in Proxima Centauri, so it's called so that has similarity towards Earth-like features. But since they are very far away, it's like if I am not wrong, it's around 4.2 light years. So light itself takes more than 4 years to travel. So that's how far it is, and that too if you are traveling at the rate of speed of light. So if I have to explain speed of light in very simple manner, if I just snatch my finger, the photon has traveled around the Earth 8 times. That's how fast we are talking about. And we don't have the technology to go at that speed. And if UFOs have already been sighted, one big question arises to me as an astrophysicist. The question is, like, we have telescopes, very advanced telescopes looking into many patches of the universe. I won't say that we have covered the entire universe because it's a big universe. So we have seen from Big Bang what has happened. And it surprises me how come we missed it if they're already observing us. That's kind of creating a lot of questions rather than answers.
No, that's absolutely true. But the truth is that it does garner a lot of attention. There has been a lot of fiction about it, as you mentioned. So since there are so many claims that have been made already, now this latest claim, if we are to believe that, doesn't the world have the right to know the information that the government has?
This is basically the question of right to information. So this becomes like a political question. Militaries, national agencies keep many aspects as secrets. I don't know whether some people claim to be calling this is one of the way to protect the peace, and some people do not like withholding the information because it may disturb the peace one day. So either way, thinking this is a very difficult question to answer because this question doesn't have one answer. It depends on the context, and it depends on the person's point of view. So every person is having the freedom to stick to his opinion. But if you ask me what is my opinion on it, I think we should all have the information. We should have the right to information. We have the right to know what is happening in the world, because this is not a simple thing. This helps us understand many things, answer many big questions. Like this is a question that has been haunted humanity for a very long time. And withholding this information for if I'm not wrong, the first UFO sighting, the visuals which are coming out and the Pentagon, which defined that flying objects as an unidentified object, actually was done in was announced in 2020, but it was seen in 2004. That footage was from 2004. So if it takes so many, it's more than a decade. So if you take decades to give out these informations,